Are facing an ever-increasing threat of so-called invisible attacks, according to the Defence Secretary and the head of the Armed Forces. Ben Wallace and General Sir Nick Carter have been speaking to Sky's Foreign Affairs editor Deborah Haynes about what's called the grey zone, where cyber attacks and disinformation are used to destabilise other countries. And those attacks, chiefly from Russia, China and Iran, risk unravelling the world's democracies without a shot being fired.
Life isn't always as peaceful as it seems. There might not be any obvious signs of war, but the very nature of warfare is changing, and attacks from states like Russia and China can come in many other forms. Defence chiefs predict peril if these grey zone threats are ignored.
So on the one hand, we might wake up one day and discover that we are in a police state and all of our freedoms have been denied us. That's one end of it. The other end of it is that our opponents will have found a way to unravel our democracy from inside, and our freedom, our way of life, and all the things that we espouse will have been undermined, and we won't have noticed it.
Without a shot being fired. That's successful grey zone warfare from adversaries, and they will have done it using proxies, done it through cyber, done it through crippling an economy, and then if you did want to drive in one day with your armour brigade, there's not much left to get in the way.
The UK's former National Security Advisor also warns about a range of threats that sit in this grey zone between war and peace.
The danger is that by the time we notice that the damage has been done, it is too late to address it. Because this is the nature of the grey zone.
Think of the grey zone as a global battlefield where anyone, anywhere can be a target. Weapons of choice include disinformation spread online to influence minds and cyber hacks. The grey zone has many physical dimensions too, from assassinations and intimidation to threatening to cut off a country's access to oil and gas or infiltrating critical supply chains. When you start to think of all the different ways nations can hurt each other short of war, the options are literally endless. Now online is a new front line. Attacks can come anywhere there's internet, no matter how remote. This investigator exposes fake news designed to undermine democracies, but often comes under fire himself.
It can become very personal when you start getting the death threats, when you start getting the really, really personal attacks. It actually means that you've done a good job because you have said something, you have exposed something which is so important to them that they are trying to either silence you or discredit you.
He's not backing down, but the grey zone isn't going away either, and it's a threat to everyone.